In the heart of an ancient mansion, there was a room that no light could penetrate. Known to the locals as the Dark Room, it was a place of mystery and dread. Generations of townsfolk avoided it, whispering tales of those who entered never to return. The current owner, Elizabeth Hawthorne, a woman of science and skepticism, dismissed these fears as mere superstition. With her trusty lantern and a determination to debunk the myths, Elizabeth decided to explore the room. As she stepped inside, the temperature dropped noticeably. The lantern's light seemed swallowed by the darkness, casting only a small halo around her. Determined, Elizabeth pushed forward, her heart pounding in her chest. Each step seemed to echo infinitely, the sound bouncing off unseen walls. She reached for her notebook, documenting every sensation and observation. Suddenly, the air grew thick with a suffocating presence. Elizabeth's breath caught in her throat as she felt an icy hand brush her shoulder. She spun around, the lantern light flickering wildly, but saw nothing. Her scientific mind grappled with the illogic of what she felt. Perhaps it was just the damp air and her heightened senses. Continuing her exploration, she stumbled upon an old mirror leaning against the far wall. Wiping away the dust, she was startled to see her reflection, not as she was, but aged and weary. The eyes that stared back were filled with sorrow and a silent plea. Panic set in, and Elizabeth dropped the lantern. It shattered, plunging her into true darkness. Scrambling to find her bearings, she felt the room close in around her. The walls seemed to move, the darkness itself pressing against her. A soft whisper filled the air, speaking in an ancient tongue. Elizabeth's mind raced, trying to recall any linguistic knowledge that might make sense of the words. Then, with a clarity that shot through her fear, she understood. It was a warning, a curse upon those who disturbed the room's eternal rest. Summoning all her courage, Elizabeth spoke back, reciting a protective incantation she learned from her grandmother. The whispers grew louder, angry and desperate, but as she finished her chant, the room seemed to sigh and the darkness lifted ever so slightly. Elizabeth found the door, flung it open, and rushed out, slamming it behind her. She stood in the corridor, gasping for breath, her heart racing. The lantern was lost, but she had her notes and her life. Outside, the sun had risen, casting the mansion in a golden glow. Elizabeth looked back at the closed door of the dark room, realizing that some mysteries were left buried.